Hey guys, Rob Summerall here, and I am here for our inaugural episode of Cuisine for the Quarantine. Check it out, guys. Tonight we're going to be making this wonderful recipe from the HelloFresh box. It is spicy maple chicken. I think that we're really going to enjoy it. We've had really good luck with the HelloFresh boxes. So our HelloFresh box includes these ingredients. We've got our chicken breast, our green beans, maple syrup, sweet potatoes. We've got some chili flakes, fry seasoning, sour cream, and some panko. They require us to bring to the party salt, pepper, a little butter, a little olive oil. This is a meal for 4 that I'm stretching to 5, so I'm adding some extra panko, I'm adding a couple of chicken tenderloins, and I'm adding a bag of baby carrots that I'm going to roast in the oven. So we've got our carrots. I've tossed them with a little bit of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, a little salt, a little pepper. We're going to throw them in a 425 oven here. Getting those in first. Now, this is the downside of what I'm doing because really I should only need 2 oven racks so I'm following the HelloFresh recipe, but I do require 3 oven racks, which I don't have because I'm adding the carrots. I could have put them stovetop. My kids really like them roasted, so that's the way we're going to go. I'll show you how we're going to finish them off here in a little bit, but we're going to get those in. They should cook off probably around 20 minutes till they're starting to get really tender and a little bit caramelized on the outside. I'll shake them about halfway through that so they can cook evenly. So my family is a huge fan of the sweet potato. I've already peeled these. We're going to cut them up, which if you ever cut up sweet potatoes before, you know that they're very resistant to cutting. They're very strong. I'm sure that there's some food science out there for why that is. We're going to boil these. I like to chop them up a little smaller than I normally would because they are so hard and they take a little bit longer to boil and to get soft. And so that's kind of a pro tip. That if you want to boil them up and you're kind of on a time crunch, you want to get them a little bit smaller because they'll boil quicker. After they're done boiling, we're gonna mash them up, put a little flavor magic in there with them. We're just gonna put them in a medium-sized pot, cover them over with some water, and get them going because they do take a little while to boil and to get soft. So I know that some of you guys are asking why I'm cooking in my hat. Well, it's because I didn't want to brush my hair, and it is cuisine for the quarantine, right? So I've got some melted butter, a couple tablespoons of melted butter. I've got a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. The recipe comes with some panko. I'm going to add that because I'm stretching my amount of chicken, which means I need to stretch my amount of topping. I'm not going to add a lot of extra of the seasoning. It comes with this fry seasoning. I find that that's sufficient. I don't really need to add that. I may salt and pepper up just a tiny little bit more than I normally would. But other than that, I think that it's going to be nice and flavorful on the topping that comes to this HelloFresh chicken recipe. I think that you're going to find out it's a fantastic recipe. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this melted butter and we're just going to throw in this extra virgin olive oil. And here's our panko. We're going to grab that. Take the panko. Put that in there. We're cooking here. This is real cooking, folks. Add a little extra of my panko. Maybe just a tiny bit more here. And a little salt and pepper. Our fry seasoning, which it says on here contains garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika, which is a pretty simple recipe. And then we're going to stir it all together and set this aside for just a few moments. Get it all nice and moist here. Because it has that fat in it from the butter and the olive oil. It's going to crisp up real nice. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt. That's kosher salt I'm using there. Can't find my tripod, so I'm sorry you're shaking all around. So my family has learned recently that we really love the flavor and the texture of roasted vegetables. Today we're going to be roasting up some green beans here. Now I got to tell you, that's about as Yankee-fied of a dish as you're ever going to find. To get a Southern family to eat roasted green beans is kind of hard, because here in the South, good green beans are cooked with a ham hock on a stovetop for hours and hours and hours. You know, other parts of the world, they like them to have texture. And typically, when you roast green beans, they're still going to have a texture to them. So when you find a recipe for roasted green beans, understand that I'm really up in the time on it. You know, if it calls for 15 minutes, I'm probably cooking them for 25 minutes because my family really doesn't want them very crunchy. We're in a pretty hot oven, 425, so that we get that nice char on them. Hit them with a little extra virgin olive oil, more salt and pepper than you think they should take, because it doesn't adhere to them as well as you think it would. And then put them in that oven, if you can, on the top rack, and just let them cook till they're happy. Clean hands. Okay. I've washed and dried my hands. Let's hit them with a little salt. That's a pretty good sized pinch of kosher salt. And I want to get them flat on the sheet, but I don't want to get my hands oily again. So just, hey folks, it's not rocket science here, right? Just get them spread out on the sheet. Got oil of hands. My carrots have been in there 20 minutes. Let's check on them. Oh yeah, can you hear them? They're sizzling. Nice. Look at that char, that's beautiful. I'd say they're just about done. Let's poke at one here. Oh, yeah, they're delicious and good. And we're gonna call them done. So some of you guys are like, hey, I'm never gonna be able to get my family to eat carrots. Well, here's the secret. The secret to getting people to eat anything. Just a little knob of butter. I'd say that's about a teaspoon. I mean, these carrots are right hot out of the oven. I'm just throwing them in there, and I'm gonna let that melt and just toss it over them. And then this whole meal has just a tiny bit of a sweet heat note to it. I just got this as a gift. So we're off the recipe from HelloFresh here. We're just kind of cooking now. This is maple syrup, dark, robust taste from Canada. My friend Mike brought this to me. Mike Crocco, thank you. Smells amazing. We're gonna hit these carrots with a tiny touch, not much, just maybe like a teaspoon and a half of maple syrup. Oh man, this smells so good. Maybe not even a teaspoon and a half. We don't want them to be too sweet. Now I'll tell you, if it was just me, but my kids don't have quite as complex of taste, I might hit them now with just a tiny bit of cayenne, or maybe a little bit of red chili flake to give it some sweet and some heat. But we're gonna get that in other spots in this meal. So I'm just gonna let the carrots just kind of carry that sweet and savory note, not sweet and spicy note. You don't want them just to have a sweet note, but sweet and savory. We're getting that with the salt and pepper we put on them when we roasted them. We're getting that with the with the maple syrup and the butter. And so we're just gonna set these aside. I like to set them in the microwave. Microwave's not on, and just keep their heat that way a little bit, and they'll be ready when we're ready to eat in a little bit. All right, guys, so I have, I've laid out my chicken here, and I've already, so my hands are nice and clean. I've already dealt with my chicken. I don't plan on touching the chicken with my hands again. Here's what I did. I unpackaged it. I dried it on some paper towels so that there's no moisture on it. Cleaning my hands in between steps as we go. And then I've salt and peppered generously both sides of the meat. One of the tips I can tell you that I see from cooks a lot of times is that they want to serve one-sided tasting meat. Listen, go ahead and season both sides. It's got 2 sides to it. Listen, if it has 3 sides, season 3 sides. If it has 16 sides, season all 16 sides, okay? You don't want somebody having the unseasoned side of the meat. So season both sides of it. Your people will be happier, you'll be happier, your food will taste better. You're gonna love this next step. It's a really easy thing that I learned from HelloFresh. Makes super good chicken, super quick, super easy. All right, so we're going to take these small little packets of sour cream, and we're going to use them to coat the top of the chicken. Now, this is enough for 4 chicken breasts, but I think I can stretch this where I do have some sour cream if I need it. Well, I'll steal some from the fridge, but I'm just going to take this and coat it here on my chicken. Now, the reason we're putting sour cream on it is, one, for a little flavor boost, but also it's going to cause our crust to stick to the chicken, okay? So we're just giving a little smear there. Nice. Nice. Steal a little off this one. Go to that one. This guy says, okay, I'm happy. Cuisine for the quarantine has never looked so delicious. It's like we're painting. I'm going to steal a little off this one. Come back over here. Okay. Now, let me get a clean spoon. I'm going to come to our topping here. Got our topping we had. Remember, we boosted our topping a little bit. Okay. Just going on top here. Oh, it smells so good. This is that panko with that fry seasoning, a little bit of melted butter, an extra virgin olive oil, and then I hit it with a little salt and pepper as well. Okay, don't chintz, people. This is the best part of the chicken. They're gonna if you don't get my family fights over the crunchies that get on the tray that don't make it, that fall off of a chicken. They want to fight for that. So I'm going to use every last bit of this topping that I can. And because we put that fat, that butter, that olive oil in this topping, what you're going to find is that it's going to crisp up real nice. Not going to take long to cook at all, okay? So we are good to go there. I'm going to get this turned into the oven and see what happens. All right, guys, so my chicken is in the oven. When I did that, I went ahead and gave a quick shake to my green beans to make sure that they're cooking real nice. My mashed potato, not mashed yet, but my sweet potatoes are nice and tender. I've drained them and I've returned them to the pot. And here's one of my tricks, okay, that I'm going to give you for today. Let me move my camera here. So as you can see, I'm in my sink, okay? Now, you could use a potato masher for this. Apologize for my finger there. You could use a potato masher for this, but I'm going to go with the old mixer. I like to mix them down in the sink, in the pan that they came in, because I don't want to dirty any more dishes. I do it in the sink because I'm going to get a little splatter as I go. And that splatter is going to make a mess, and it's just easy to rinse it down the sink when I do it that way. So how am I going to finish these guys, okay? So I've got a 2 tablespoon knob of butter here. We only use real butter in this house, okay? So 2 tablespoon knob of butter. I'm going to hit it with a tablespoon of the maple syrup that came in the package. Just kind of eyeballing that. And then I'm going to, because I used all of the sour cream on the chicken, I'm going to add just a little squirt of sour cream in here, okay? And it's going to help keep it creamy and nice, okay? Might need to get a little more sour cream. You can hear it. I'm running out. All right, so let me mix these up for you guys. Oh my goodness, I wish you guys could smell it in here. It smells amazing. My sweet potatoes are all mixed up. And one of the things that a lot of times you do when you follow a recipe is you've got to taste it as you go. So I'm just going to give these guys a little taste. I followed the recipe. We're going to see how they are. I'm going to hit them with the tiniest bit of salt because I think it'll make the sweet pop. And then they're going to be good. Okay, guys, so we've gotten all of that done. Now we're on to our next step.
Ooh, it smells good.
my son just came in. He smells it. Come on around here, buddy, so I can see you on camera. Okay, he's been my kitchen buddy here these last little bit. Hey, Joshua.
Hi.
Okay, so we've got HelloFresh here. Hey, grab that little thing of red chili flakes there. Okay, so one of the things I love about the HelloFresh menu is that they give you great little sauces to finish off your dishes with. And this is maple syrup here. Joshua, go ahead and add that in there. So we're just adding red chili flakes, okay? Grab a little spoon in there, okay? And we're gonna stir that real good. And take, oh, that's a lot of chili flakes. Okay, take just a pretty like medium-sized pinch of that salt. It's kosher salt. That's a small pinch, another small pinch. Okay, mix that. Now, I want you to dip the bottom end of your spoon in it and taste it. Okay?
That's good.
Is it hot?
I don't think so, but I'm not the girls.
Okay. Can you guys see the green beans here and even smell them? They're sizzling. Grab some tongs here and show you. See, you've got that little bit of a char on them. You can't see because I'm moving the camera. Got a little bit of a char on them. They're delicious. Now, sometimes I like to hit these with a drizzle of a little bit of good balsamic vinegar, maybe a squeeze of lemon. They like acid when they're done, but I'm not going to do that today because I want to let other things in the meal be a little bit more exotic. Laura-Beth, what are you doing?
Why'd you steal my sippy cup? Get what you want so I can take this out of
Exactly what
Hey, why are you getting the crunchies?
Who are you talking to?
his camera.
Why are you getting the crunchies?
Because I want them.
Say it happy, it's going on the internet.
Don't put me on the internet.
All right, here's the final product, guys. I'm gonna just left-handed, that's kind of hard. I'm gonna drizzle it a little bit. Some of this spicy.
He missed his chicken.
I missed my chicken. They're laughing at me. Okay, so that's where we are tonight. We got a happy family, well-fed, and this has been Cuisine for the Quarantine. Banana.